everybody, welcome to the Unscripted Video Game Podcast. Today we're discussing DLC. Woo!
Yeah, DLC is actually really cool and also can suck.
Yep, you have two very big extremes when it comes to DLC. You either do really well with it or you suck.
Let's give you a full version that expands the game. Let's give you one weapon.
Call of Duty,
or positive character skins. Or skins for your guns.
Sometimes character skins are cool though. I like character skins.
And these kinds of things are fine. Like, okay, back in the olden days, we used to unlock these by doing bonus stuff in the games and unlocking cheat codes. But look, if you really want to just wring that extra money out of us, I would be willing to buy a full pack of weapons for 99 cents. I think that'd be an okay deal. When you have your weapon packs at $5 a pop, or your vehicles, your single vehicles for like the open world maps that you've done, be like $9. No. If you're unleashing DLC on the first day of release, Mass Effect 3 had a lot of problems with that. A bunch of other games had a lot of problems with that. The whole day one DLC. There's a reason why the internet freaks out about that, though. It's awful.
So awful.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Forza.
Yeah.
Let's just bring that up.
Forza. Good
Forza.
one.
It's so bad.
Matt, what do you have to say about the subject of DLC?
Well, I honestly think that, and this is me being a little bit weird with my opinion here, that DLC only really works for certain games and certain types of games. Like, if you have an adventure game or something like that, then, and say it was like episodic, something like The Walking Dead, then a DLC like 400 Days would be a good
choice.
add-on to that. But if you have something like a sports game, like FIFA or something like that,
Madden.
or FIFA or Madden, and the DLC is like a skin for a player or just a new player which has like the same stats as everyone else, then it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
At that point, you start crossing from DLC to microtransactions.
And from microtransactions to the new horrifying age of free-to-play.
Free to play, and then there's pay to win, which is a completely separate podcast that I have scheduled at some point.
I will cease my conversations about free-to-play and pay to win.
How much money have I spent on League of Legends?
If anybody
Hundreds of dollars.
If anybody would like to hear about our opinions on free-to-play or pay-to-win, please tune into the next podcast. That may or may not be released today.
Hello.
Yeah, it's on the books eventually. We'll get to that. But like on Smite, I pay for skins occasionally. Some of the skins are really cool.
Smite. I just discovered Smite recently. It's the best thing ever.
But that's a discussion for the MOBA podcast.
God dang it!
The thing with DLC is, it has to be satisfying enough for me to pay like $20 for. I mean, I feel like I would have to get my money out of it. I think a lot of companies now are doing like season passes, which technically it's a good strategy. It saves the player like $5, and usually it comes with some form of other bonus. Like with Last of Us, their season pass came with like the immediate health bonus, extra ammo, and enhanced. It like boosted your stats for the first day. Not first day, but you get it on first day.
The only problem with that is, some companies give you the season passes, and then they won't release anything for like the next 7 months.
That was like BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
Like BioShock Infinite came out, they're like, okay, yeah, we got a season pass. Here you go, have it. You get some gold weapons now, and then it's like, how many months before they release Clash in the Clouds? It was several months before they released their first DLC.
I didn't even play Clash of the Clouds.
I think season passes are kind of... The whole idea of season pass kind of strikes me as a little bit... It's not great.
I mean, it occasionally works. I liked Borderlands 2 season pass. That was a pretty good season pass. I mean, you got 4 really amazing DLCs. Some much better than others.
Yeah.
But it saved you money because each DLC was like $19-20.
If you're being charged for a season pass though for 2 DLCs, for only 2, that's criminal.
Yeah, compared to the Borderlands one, which was for 4 DLCs. It was really great. The only thing that could have made it better is if threw in the 2 bonus characters in there, but I bought those before I got season pass, so it didn't really matter.
How long have we gone saying DLC without actually saying what it means? Have we actually said
Downloadable content.
Okay, so a DLC,
Can we bring up how downloadable is all one word?
Yeah, it's one word, but DLC has a ring to it. It's supposed to DC, which is a kind of comics.
Or the capital of the United States of America.
Oh, yeah.
It's just as gray and drab as ever.
We have a capital, huh?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I think DLC is a really interesting term to use because some DLC didn't start as downloadable content. It was an expansion pack, which I think it should be, because DLC now reminds me of like games on Steam. That's downloadable content.
A long time ago, the internet, let's say the 90s, or maybe a little bit before the 90s.
2000s.
The internet wasn't really before the 90s. Was the 2000s?
Oh no!
Time traveling again.
I was gonna say like that
podcast.
the internet wasn't really big in the 2000s too much either. Or at least not the early 2000s.
Time is fractured here.
Didn't really pick up in popularity with the young kids until like late 2000s, mid to late 2000s.
But back in the day, I remember like getting really excited I'd find these expansion packs for these games that I already owned, and I'd be like, wow, it's just going to add more content and more units and more of everything. The Command & Conquer series was amazing with that. Like, you'd get, like, this awesome game that was the full package of everything you wanted, had all these units going around with strategy, and then you get another stuff and even more units for everyone. And I'd just be like, amazing. And then when I downloaded my first DLC, I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. But the hype of a new thing wore off incredibly fast.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I've ever seen an expansion pack handled in the same way that it was done before, only with a modernized spin of being downloaded from online, it's Enemy Within from XCOM. And that is, does it totally radically change the entire game? Not really, but it adds a bunch of new content to it that really alters the way that you attack certain situations. When you have a guy who's in power armor, who has no arms or legs, who has become the robot.
He is the robot.
It's just... It changes your strategy much different than when you have a bunch of grunts hiding behind cover. And I liked that.
It keeps the same game mechanics, and it definitely adds a lot of content to the game. I'll say that. I enjoy XCOM both within and unknown. So,
however, when is there ever such a thing as too much DLC or too much expansion?
Of course.
I could see that with Borderlands 2 now, because you got the Headhunter packs, which, I mean, they're like $3. So, I mean, technically, like, for the price, you get, like, a whole new, like, mini, like a new area of the map, and you get to fight a boss, and you get a head for your character. So, I mean, it's just, they're just doing that over and over again. I mean, I still get them, because Borderlands 2 is a fun game, and I love it. And it has a lot of replay value. But it's game to the point where it's like, there's just, like, a lot of DLC. I mean... It's the point is, like, you have to kind of wonder, like, are they just milking Borderlands 2 now? Because, I mean, now they've said they're working on Tales from the Borderlands with Telltale Games. And it's like, I kind of want to know, like, are they going to work on Borderlands 3? Or are they just going to keep making DLC?
Speaking of milking, you know what EA is constantly milking? The Sims.
Fun games.
But now,
not the new one.
Not the new one. Let me get this point.
I kind of like it.
Across.
Which one? 3 or 4?
You ever heard of SimCity? The new SimCity?
Yeah,
I haven't. It's not that bad. Once they patched all the stuff, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's still kind of...
Why didn't they just push back release date?
They should have pushed... Like, the way they handled it was terrible. But now, as of... What's today's date?
Never make a game
March 29th.
Single player, only online.
Yeah.
As of March 29th, they've patched the problems that they had. It has a single-player functionality. And it really isn't that terrible.
But does that sweep their mistakes under the rug?
No, it doesn't. I still think they handled it terribly, and they lost a lot of potential customers because of it.
Developers or producers really to rely on patches and DLCs and all these other things in order to fix their problems, it's only going to bring the market down in quality as time goes on. Watch Dogs is supposed to be a release title for the PS4.
No, don't even talk to me about how that was pushed back.
We're going to talk about that.
No.
I'm glad they pushed it back.
And here's the thing. They had everything to lose by pushing it back. You know how much profits they just sacrificed by pushing it back? Past it being a title that was paired with the PS4? They could have sold tons and tons of copies. But somebody was looking at it and was like, hey, we're not quite ready for this to come out yet. let's give it some more polish, let's give it some more time, and give them a more full experience. And yeah, there's some graphical downgrades, and we know about that. But let's face it, that happens for every title, and it's sad to expect that, but it's how the market works.
I'm really glad they pushed Watch Dogs back there because I don't want to spend $60 on a game and it be incomplete.
Yeah.
Which was the problem that SimCity ran into. Well, not counting the fact that it was online only.
That
it was
AI.
an incomplete game. They relied on patches, but Ubisoft pushed Watch Dogs back, which lost them revenue at the time, but it's also giving them more time to really advertise for it and get that revenue back. They're gonna probably get more sales off of it now.
Some of that advertisement money and perhaps polishing the game up.
Oh yeah, they're doing that too. That's the reason why they really pushed it back, is to make sure this is going to be a finished product. And now that they I'm assuming are finished with the game.
Ubisoft has done some questionable things. I'm not really sure I agree with the whole Assassin's Creed iteration, especially the Ezio storyline.
I like it.
No. I like Ezio too, but it was a problem with Revelations in that they just broke his life down into such tiny episodic chunks that it felt like nothing else was changing. And then Connor didn't help because Assassin's Creed 3, I didn't like it that much.
And
it didn't have as much replay value as, like, say, Black Flag.
It was kind
and
of
Black Flag
then
has a lot.
4.
It was kind of bloated. But then 4 came out, and 4 was awesome.
And now they've announced Assassin's Creed Unity
God
for
dang
the
it.
now current gen consoles, which is the PS4 and the Xbox
Far
One.
Cry 4 to be set in Himalayas. True story. I'm actually really excited about going mountain climbing.
Is it? Did they announce the consoles? Are they announcing for previous gen and current gen? Or
We're gonna get over that threshold pretty soon.
Probably.
Better get your money out, kids.
I'm a college student. I can't afford a PlayStation 4.
Anyway, when this is going all the way back to The Sims, as I was talking about, but if you think about it, they really had it to be a double-edged sword kind of thing, where even though they had a crap ton of expansion stuff, and some of it really wasn't needed, like the stuff packs, at least they were always adding something new into the game, and it wasn't like it was just saying, here, have some new clothes. They actually put in new towns, new mechanics, new ways of operating things, new things to do. But then there's only so much that you can do for a game before you realize we need to either make something new or we need to just sort of leave it be and have them enjoy that instead. Because let's think about SimCity. They released the Futuristic City expansion thing. And even though I love the look of the cities, it doesn't really change the gameplay that much.
It's a skin pack.
Yeah. For $20. And
$20?
to me,
That's why I like Minecraft. If you want to change the way something looks, it's free.
yeah.
I mean, like, you have to understand, like, what games could use DLC and what games don't need it. It's stupid to think that on the PC, Minecraft would get DLC. It has it on Xbox and PlayStation because they're consoles and you can't really
patch it.
You can't patch stuff in so you can get it for free, like the texture packs like you have with the PC or the skin packs. Because with the PC, for those who are unfamiliar with Minecraft, you have a character and Steve is linked to your Minecraft account or Mojang account now. And you can go into your profile on Mojang account on Mojang.com and you can change the skin there and it carries over to your PC. You can't do that with the consoles. You have to actually buy skin packs. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I can never see them making DLC for PC. That would be stupid. You would lose a lot. You would really piss off a lot of fans doing so. But, I mean, you're raising the console players, and they're kind of expecting it. So I mean,
Are we talking about DLC for all PC games here?
Just generally DLC. Like, what do you?
Well, I'm remembering Zoo Tycoon 2, which I played as a kid like all the time, and this is the only thing I'm going to be able to talk about in this situation.
Get over here and talk about it.
Okay, get over here.
Come on, we got room for you. Everybody push
Scooting.
over.
Let's scooch. No, Matthew, your wall. I'm stuck.
I scooted the wrong way. Oh well, too bad.
Oh well. But whenever there would be new expansion packs for Zoo Tycoon 2 when I was a kid, it would be like $20, but you know, I'd ask for them for Christmas because that's how I roll. But it would get you not only new animals, it would get you new campaigns you could do, it would get you new challenges, and I think in that case the PC expansion was really, really good, because I remember in the first Zoo Tycoon you could get something that would let you have dinosaurs. Oh my god, and when they came out with that for Zoo Tycoon 2, I wasn't angry at all. Are you kidding me? That was fantastic. And that's my piece. So, again, depends on how you do it. I'm going to go crocheting.
Yeah, it depends on how you handle it. You definitely...
expansion packs
Now
was
Patrick
really,
can
really
breathe.
great.
I mean, then you have games like Assassin's Creed, which I'm talking about. Actually, all of them really. All of their DLCs add like basically whole new stories to the game. With 2, or was it Brotherhood? You had like more. It was basically more missions that were kind of unrelated to the story that weren't necessary. I mean, you didn't have to get them if you were going from 2 to Brotherhood. But there were no, it really didn't make a difference. But now you're getting to the point where, like with Assassin's Creed 3 and 4, you've got DLCs that are
Keeping it professional.
Sorry. You've got entire storylines added. You've got, with 3, you have the story of, like, the alternate universe, basically, of the tyranny of King Washington. And then with 4, you've got Freedom Cry. So, I mean, that DLC I really loved because it's like a whole new thing with whole new mechanics.
Ubisoft. Blood Dragon!
Blood Dragon!
Blood Dragon!
Blood Dragon!
Oh god, what am I missing?
Okay, so Far Cry 3 was a really cool game.
I didn't play it.
Oh, it's good. It's good. Actually, later on. What?
Keep going.
You're so professional,
Goodbye.
Patrick.
Bye. Okay, Aaron, keep talking.
Okay, so if you have a free moment after here, I might just like throw in the PS3 and so to start playing some Far Cry 3.
Okay, cool.
But basically, Far Cry 3 was a cool game for cool people. And,
Thanks, Aaron.
And they released a DLC, really more like an entire like level pack and expansion thing. And while most of it is reskins, it's this like take the premise of Far Cry 3.
Okay.
You are dropped onto an island, and you have to like stealth and murder your way through all these goons in order to take down these big bad guys. But they put it in the 80s.
Oh no.
Everything's neon. Even the animals are neon. Even your bow is neon. It fires neon arrows. And you have like all these weapons.
But is it rainbow? I'm there.
Like
Take me there now.
It's not like always rainbow, but it's bright neon pink and fluorescent blue and green and yellow, and there's these giant T-Rexes that are completely every shade of neon in the rainbow and just run around shooting laser beams out of their eyes.
So it's robot unicorn attack.
It has all of these references to all these fantastic 80s movies like Predator and RoboCop and just so many things. It's so amazing. And it was technically a DLC, really more like a downloadable game itself, but I thought it was awesome.
Oh, well, it sounds awesome.
It's really cool. And that's actually how you do DLC right. Oh my god, I have to carry this now that Patrick's gone.
I did not. Anyway.
I'm confused about where Patrick went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the person running this entire show?
He's dead.
Oh, we're not important enough? We can carry it on our own.
Show.
Oh, no, there he is. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
So how do you do DLC right?
I will sit on you.
No, there's no need.
DLC done right, thank you, helper Erica, is a lot of content for not as much money. We're not looking for an entirely new game at half price. We get it. You guys need to make money. You need to pay off your horrible monster producers. Yeah. You need to pay off all the money you spent on advertisement, which apparently is more money than in the history of the entire world. But just basically half the content of a game at half the price, or even a fourth of the price if you're going to be generous. As opposed to a tiny little bit of content for a fair amount of money, which sounds kind of acceptable, but it's not. A fair amount of money here is like $9.99, which is about $11. And it just can be a little bit annoying. Patrick, you want to drop in and say anything? Did you learn anything on your travels?
No, it was actually necessary to do that. But Yeah, DLC has to be. If DLC can either do really well, like we said at the beginning, or it can do really bad. Like I understand, like Call of Duty, they did like map packs, which I mean, it's a source of revenue. I understand that. And
do they need that revenue?
Not really.
Does Call of Duty as a series need that kind of money?
But I can see the purpose behind it because it adds more replay value in a sense to their multiplayer game. Because I mean, nobody plays Call of Duty for the single player anymore.
I play for the single player campaign.
No,
I've played most of the single player campaigns.
I wasn't rewarded
Here's the
for it,
interesting
but I did.
thing you can do with Call of Duty. Instead of having them have the option to jump straight to player, force everyone to go through the campaign first. And I will want to see just how the sales prices drop.
Titanfall forced the players to go through a single player.
Mm-hmm. Well,
if they wanted to get
player.
Patrick, tell them what single player after I'm done with this though.
Tell them what Titanfall is the best game ever.
Enough to be crashing all of the servers apparently.
Yes.
If you want to get the super cool Titans and the super cool weapons, you got to beat the whole campaign. Patrick, what is the campaign?
The campaign is it's multiplayer. In the fact that it's run online. There's no true single player offline aspect to Titanfall, and I was kind of upset to hear that when they announced it. I was really sad.
All over again.
I think Titanfall handles it better though, and you basically go through like mini missions on servers, and they actually said that basically the reason why they made no offline single player campaign is because nobody plays first-person shooters for single-player campaigns anymore.
Then why they put it in anyway?
Well, it's good that they did, though. They're teaching them a lesson. It's like, you know what? We're not Call of Duty. You're going to have to play the campaign first.
And
campaign. I use
but
campaign
the campaign wasn't even good.
And you know what? That is just what makes the game overall better.
It teaches the mechanics of the game. I'll give it that. And that's what I think it's a good thing about single-player campaigns is it teaches you some of the core mechanics that are involved. I mean, have you played Last of Us multiplayer?
No. It's good.
It's alright.
It's alright.
Yeah, it has a cool feature that if you connect to your Facebook, which people are but there's Survivor thing where you can get people and live in this colony, and it will name people in the colony after your Facebook friends.
Hooray!
That's cool. And it doesn't post or anything, but it's hard to go into Last of Us and play a game like that without knowing the controls. I mean, all Call of Duty controls are the exact same. If you played one, you've played them all. Yeah. But with Titanfall, it's a new IP. It's a new franchise, and people aren't going to know anything about it. So I mean, it's good that they're forcing you to have this really mini campaign that teaches you how to play. I mean, I would love to see some offline single player stuff in Titanfall.
Titanfall is an amazing universe. It looks so cool,
dude. The free running aspect, just
the fact that you're a bunch of cybernetic troopers that can call down giant robots to do battle with other giant robots and planets all over the universe.
Attack on Titan.
It's amazing. It is a little bit kind of similar.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say about DLC. I think we kind of.
Yeah, I think we pretty well covered it.
There's just dry.
DLC often does not contain a lot of content, therefore we does not often have a lot to talk about.
There we go.
DLC that does contain content does well, and it deserves a higher price tag.
Yes?
What's up?
If you give us money, we'll release more content. That's our DLC. Actually, we're going to keep releasing it anyway.
Yeah.
And then
we enjoy doing this.
And then everyone stopped watching.
We really enjoy doing this, so...
We can't push Patreon on every episode.
That's true.
He says as he pushes Patreon.
I was getting ready to say, maybe we should talk about Patreon real quick.
No.
I'll put the link to our Patreon campaign in the description. So, with no final thoughts, I guess we're done.
Woo!
Woo! Hit the camera.